Hi, my name is Ricky Butler. I'm the Regional Sales Director for Dow Jones Risk and Compliance Information. And today we're talking in Auckland about the perfect storm and the current state of compliance. As a data provider, we have been producing data that help our customers comply with various different regulations and laws around the world, like anti-money laundering, anti-bribery, anti-corruption, sanctions compliance. And it's an environment that's very dynamic and moves very quickly. In the 16 years that we have been producing data, we have seen these regulations and the enforcement of these regulations increase dramatically. A very clear or current example is the current sanctions applied to the various different Russians who are very close to the current government in Russia. The OFAC, the US authorities and the EU authorities have announced that not only are they sanctioned, but companies that they have an interest of in up to 50% commercial interest, those companies are also sanctioned. Through our research, we have found an additional 5,500 companies covering 95 different countries around the world. And this is a very real example of where compliance is increasing and stretching current compliance teams around the world as well.
We help our clients to understand new legislation, new regulations, to break it down into the really need-to-know aspects of the regulation and to help put in processes around to achieve compliance, but also to ensure that the new regulations are involved in the decision-making of the company, and that, because at the end of the day, everyone's involved in compliance. And really, I just made 3 points, and the key points are that under the new legislation, the Crimes Act, employees are now implicated. Companies are vicariously liable for their employees, so if an employee is involved in bribing a foreign public official in a foreign country, that could then come home to roost for the company, for their employer, and the company could be prosecuted here in New Zealand. Another important change is to the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering Financing of Terrorism Act, and with the introduction of the prescribed transactions reporting. A prescribed transaction is any international wire transaction of $1,000 or more, or a physical cash transaction of $10,000 or more. These transactions now have to be reported to the police through the Financial Intelligence Unit. And I guess that the aim is to really further disrupt organised crime, the criminals that are well organised, large scale, that use these type of transactions to avoid detection and for sort of protecting and hiding their proceeds from crime. I suppose they are the key changes in the Act. Some of the things that you can do to sort of, as a defence, to protect yourself against these things are make sure that you understand your third parties, make sure that when you are operating in jurisdictions where government contracts are involved, that you know who your third parties are there, and that you have a process to ensure that those government contracts are sort of fair and that there's been no bribery or no corruption on the company's part in terms of tendering for those contracts. Make sure that you embed your anti-bribery and corruption policies into these markets as much as possible, have them audited, ensure that someone is trained to oversee the program.
Wynyard provides software to our clients to help them fight serious growing crime problems such as serious financial crime, transnational and organised crime, and high consequence cybercrime. In particular, with high consequence cybercrime, we provide software that detects the unknown threats, the threats you don't know about, the threats you haven't seen before, the threats that sit inside your network that you're not aware, and we detect those early in the life cycle of a malware or attack process to surface them for attention and investigation.
So my name is Chris Hoy and I'm the AML Compliance Analyst for Sky City Entertainment Group in New Zealand. Now I was speaking about customer due diligence and screening customers and really knowing your customer and being able to take those results to the board and to allow the company to know more about the customers they are doing business with. An interesting question I was asked was, how do we perform enhanced customer due diligence? Now this is a difficult area for us because as an entertainment business, people are somewhat not always prepared to answer that type of question as to where their money is coming from. It's not the usual type of question you'll get when you just go out to spend some of your discretionary funds as opposed to applying for a bank loan or for a finance loan. So we do as best we can in that respect. We do ask people to make declarations to us around their source of funds if we consider that's necessary, and we'll do our best to verify that information.